Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, good. What do you mean by law of demand? Pranav, can you tell?
It states the
Hmm.
inverse relationship between uh,
Inverse
price and quantity of goods.
relationship between price and quantity demanded. Okay. So, just a little more explanation. What do you mean by that inverse relationship? Kevin, can you tell? What do you mean by that inverse relationship?
Ma'am, inverse relationship.
What is that? I mean, according to the law of demand, there is inverse relationship between.
Ma'am, two products in a
Hmm?
combination.
Is it between two products combination, law of
Ma'am,
demand?
sorry, ma'am, price
Ah,
and demand.
yes, price and demand. Okay, what do you mean by that? Rahul,
Ma'am, when
wait, Rahul, what kind of relation it is? Explain. Hmm?
Ma'am, I keep constant.
What is that?
Ma'am,
Say. Ah.
can you repeat the question?
What is that particular relation between price and quantity demanded according to the law of demand? What kind of relation? That is inverse relation. Just explain upon that.
Negative.
Yeah, negative relation. What is that negative relation? What will happen to price and quantity demanded?
There will be equal.
Hmm?
The commodity increase
Increases when?
when the price reduces.
Yeah, when the price reduces, the quantity demanded will increase. When the price increases, the quantity demanded will decrease. Okay, so that is what you mean by law of demand. And next one is related to, I told that the negative slope of the demand curve, it is explained because of, in terms of two effects. There are two reasons why there is a negative slope of demand curve. The one I told you, substitution effect. Substitution effect in the sense when there is a change in the price of substitute goods. You can see the change in, I mean, for example, I told you when there is an increase in the price of tea, people may substitute that with the coffee. Okay, so that one effect what they are telling, that because of the substitutes, you can see when price increases they are switching over to something else. That effect we call it as substituting effect. Or example, Pepsi and Coke. Okay, Pepsi and Coke, if there is a increase in price of Pepsi, people may prefer to drink Coke during that time because somewhat we feel that the taste is same. Okay, so Pepsi and Coke, if there is a price increase in any one of these, we can see that people are switching over to the other commodity. Okay, next one, these both effects it is given in your textbook also. So instead of because what we have given a condition here, the two products we told, tea and coffee, the two products, whatever I am telling, it gives equal satisfaction to the consumer. There is no difference in the satisfaction. So one price, once one goods price increases, consumer may feel that why to buy that, I am getting equal satisfaction from coffee, so that one we can use. So that effect we call it as substitution effect here. Okay, next one you can see income effect. Income effect in the sense, if here mango banana is given, okay, if the price is reduced for, just 1 minute, price is reduced for mango, price is reduced for mango. Okay, so its price is reduced, it remains same here. So there is a feeling that okay, price is reduced, now it is somewhat like our income is increased. Whenever there is a reduction in price of anything, we feel that there is an indirect relation, like that we can say their income is a bit increased, like that feeling we can. Why income is increased? Or that budget line, whenever the price reduces, what will happen to the budget line? What will happen whenever price reduces? What will happen to the budget line? That is a
Move to
income.
the right.
It moves to the right. That means now I have more money to spend. Is that income increased actually? In reality, the income increased? No. So we say that there is an increase in real income, we say. Okay, not in money income or anything, but because of that, what happens when there is a reduction in the prices, we can see that we can demand now more goods according to the present situation. That effect we call it as income effect here. Okay, so whenever or it is our purchasing power increases. Okay, before we used to purchase for rupees 20, that remains same, but at the same time, for example, I can tell you, before one per mango it was 5 rupees. I had 20 rupees with me. So how many mangoes I can buy? 5 rupees. How many mangoes I can buy with this 20 rupees? 4 mangoes. Okay, now what happened? The price is decreased. Okay, so price has decreased to 3 rupees. Now how many I can buy? It will be in points. It's okay, approximately you tell. 6. Okay, so if it is 6, you can see that my purchasing power has increased. Before this, my purchasing power was 4, now it is increased to 6. Okay, so like this, indirectly my purchasing power is increased because of decreasing price of one commodity. That effect we call it as income effect. Okay, got it all of you? So what do you mean by income effect? Income effect is the change in demand for a good or services caused by a change in consumers' purchasing power resulting from a change in real income. This real income, in the sense, not talking about the money income. Here my purchasing power has gone high. That is what you understand in that manner. Because of a reduction in prices, my income or my purchasing power increased. That you understand, that you take it in when we talk about real income. Okay, so here once more, what do you mean by income effect here? Income effect is the change in demand. Okay, because of income, there is not direct change in income, purchasing power is changing. Okay, change in demand for one good or services. Why is it happening? Because there is a change in consumers' purchasing power. Okay, consumers' purchasing power, there is a change. Because of that, it can lead to a change in demand for a goods and services. And why this is happening? Because there is a change in real income. Or at least understand this till here thoroughly. Okay, what is that? A change in consumers' purchasing power leads to a change in demand for goods or services. Okay, now substitution effect, you can see, is a decrease in the sale of a product that can be attributed to consumers switching cheaper alternatives when its price rises. In the sense, when any one goods prices increases, for example, I told you before tea, when its price rises, what will happen? It will result in what? They will switch to cheaper alternatives. Maybe coffee. Now coffee is little more cheaper than tea. That effect we call it as substitution effect here. Okay, so income effect, once more, change in demand for the goods and services caused by what? A change in consumers' purchasing power. Now one more point is there related to this particular negative sloping, that is additional customers. What do you mean by additional customers? What is that additional customers? What do you mean by that?
More consumers.
More consumers. So just understand that if any change in the price, it will lead to a change in the customers also. For example, if there is a reduction in prices, additional customers will be added. Okay, so that also result in a negative sloping curve. Okay, so this just point I am telling, it's not given in your textbook, you can just understand. Now next one, I told you regarding deriving the demand curve from the indifference curve and the budget constraints. Now next is related to normal goods and inferior goods. Okay, so there is a topic given in your textbook, normal goods and inferior goods. Yes, now what do you mean by normal goods and inferior goods? Now we say that, this I told you, demand function is what? What do you mean by a demand function? It is a relation between consumers' demand for a good and its price when other things are given. This is what do you mean by demand. Okay. Now, oh sorry, just 1 minute. Yes. Now, we are talking about, we always say that whenever the price increases, what will happen to the quantity demanded? That is a rule I told you. What will happen to the quantity demanded? It will
Decreases.
always reduce. Okay. So now what I am telling, there are some particular goods are there where the quantity that a consumer chooses increases as the consumer's income increases and decreases as consumer's income decreases. Here we are talking the relation between income and what? What is the relation which I told you? Income and quantity demanded. Quantity here. Okay. Just in all these time, what relation I told you? Between 2 points I told you the relation. What is according to the law of demand? What relation I told you, Pranav? It is a relation between 2 points. Which are they? Demand and price. Now next they are telling it is related to the income. Okay. Now one more thing is there, whenever our income increases, what will normally happen, Abhilash? Whenever my income increases, what will happen?
Quantity demanded will increase.
Quantity demanded will increase. That means as income increases, quantity demanded increases. As income decreases, what will happen?
Quantity demanded will
Quantity demanded decreases. Okay, that some goods are there like that. According to our income, it changes. Here, what kind of relation you can see? What kind of relation it is, Rahul? Income increases, quantity demanded increases. Income reduces, negative. Is it negative?
Inverse.
Inverse with what? When one increases, other one should decrease, right? Here what did I say? Income increases, quantity demanded also increases. So what kind of relation it is? What kind of relation it is? Negative, inverse, positive, direct. Which one? What kind of relation? Who else can say? Kevin?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
There is a relationship between quantity demanded, these two, income and quantity demanded. Okay? What kind of relation it is?
Ma'am, it's a positive relation.
It's a positive relation. Why do we say positive relation? Because both increases. Okay? When income increases, quantity demanded also increases. And otherwise what will happen? When income decreases, what will happen? Quantity demanded also decreases. So it both of these two factors moves together. Okay, so that will happen normally for a normal good. Okay, normally for a normal good in the sense, the normal goods whatever we are buying, this is the situation. Whenever income increases, our quantity demanding also will be increasing. Now, another one more point is there. There are some goods which we call them as inferior goods. Okay? There are some goods which we call them as inferior goods. Now, what is the speciality of this inferior goods? Speciality is what? Whenever the income increases, normally what should happen? What should happen whenever our income increases?
Quantity demanded will increase.
Quantity demanded will increase. But in this case, in the case of inferior goods, what is happening? The demand for an inferior good falls. Because as the income decreases, what will happen? The demand for an inferior. That I will come to the point. Can you think of one example for this? Can you think of one example for this? Just think and tell. One example for inferior goods. Here what they have given, income of the consumer as it increases. Demand for an inferior good falls. At the same time, if income decreases, the demand for an inferior good increases. So here what kind of relation you can see? Anyone? What kind of relation you can see in this?
Grocery.
What is it?
Inverse relation.
Inverse relationship. Okay, correct. Now can you think of any one example? What will be an inferior good?
Grocery.
Grocery. Can you just tell anyone? Grocery, you are correct.
Ma'am, like food products.
Like food products. Okay, you take the case of rice. Okay, there are some, or any cereals you take, there are some which are very, which priced very low. Prices are very low. So what people feel that income increases. Okay, you know what is jowar, right? You might have heard otherwise. Rice. Okay, some area people eat jowar instead of rice. Okay, or in some areas they cook that instead of rice. Why is it so? Because jowar is, why is it so?
cheaper.
It is cheaper. Okay, it is very cheaper. So because of that, they will buy jowar. Now when their income increases, they may buy rice now. What is the reason? They don't want to consume. So demand for this jowar is getting increased or reduced?
Reduced.
Reduced. So here, yeah, as income increases, income I am just putting as y, because always when we express income, that will be expressing as y. As income increases, what is happening here? Inferior goods demand is decreasing. Instead of that, they are buying rice. So demand for some other product is increasing here. Got it? So some products are there which we consider as inferior goods. They always will be demanded less when our income is increasing. The same thing happens when our income decreases. Whenever income is decreasing, what happens? The people, they used to spend money on rice before, they started spending the money on what? Other items. So here what happens? The demand for inferior good is increasing. Okay, here when I said jowar and rice, which one is inferior? Which one is considered as inferior?
Jowar.
Jowar is considered as inferior. So whenever income is increasing, people may switch over to a better one, costlier one, because they feel that they can afford that costlier one now. Okay, or in income decreases, what happens? People may buy, instead of rice, instead of that they start buying jowar, because they don't have much income now. So those kind of goods we call it as what it is? Inferior goods. Now I want you to, whatever is given in this column, I want you to read that. So one person can help me out on that? Anish, can you read?
Ma'am, which column?
This a rise in purchasing power. This one.
Yes, ma'am.
That
Yes, ma'am.
column alone, read slowly. Everyone should
Yes.
understand. Okay? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. A rise in the purchasing power bracket income of the consumer can sometimes induce the customer to reduce the consumption
Consumption.
of a good. In such a case, the substitution effect and the income effect will work in opposite directions. The demand for such a good can be inversely or positively related to its price depending on the relative strengths of these two opposing effects. If the substitution effect is stronger than the income effect, the demand for the good and the price of the good would still be inversely related. However, if the income effect is stronger than the substitution effect, the demand for the good would positively related to its price. Such a good is called a giffen good or giffen good.
Giffen goods. Okay? So here they are talking about a good where the substitution effect and income effect will not work properly the same way in the case of normal good. Okay? Now here what they have given here, it is somewhat like inferior good also, even though the price sometimes increases for rice. Will you reduce the consumption of rice? It will be somewhat like I said. Now some people are there, they will consume only rice. Yes? So even though there is an increase in price, what do you feel? If the price is increased for rice, we all consume rice. Okay. Are we going to reduce the consumption? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. So even though sometimes what will happen, we may not, whatever happens, maybe there is an increase in price, it doesn't mean that we are reducing the consumption, especially some products. I am talking about some products, that products which are considered as very necessary. Okay. For example, rice. Even if it is reduced, price is reduced now, are we going to consume more?
No.
Will it be like that? No, we are not going to. Okay, now price of rice is reduced, we'll eat that only. Like that we will do? No chance. Okay, so there are some goods which is positively related to the price. Sometimes even though price is increasing also, the quantity demanded sometimes it will increase. There is no effect of the substitution effect and income effect. Okay, so like that kind of goods we call it as, what kind of good it is? Giffen goods. Okay, next one. Next one is related to substitutes and complementary. Okay, now what do you mean by substitutes and complementary? Yeah, before going to that, we can see one more thing related to this inferior goods and normal goods. A good can be normal good for the consumer at some level of income, and an inferior food at other levels of income. Other levels of income, whatever be the level of income, it will work according to the quantity demanded. Income, as income increases, the quantity demanded increases. That is for normal good. But you can see for the inferior good, it is given at different level of income. What will happen to the inferior good? Now even at a very low level of income also, the consumers demand for low quality cereals, sometimes it can increase with the income. Okay, so like that there are some differences between better quality product and inferior product here. Now next one, they are talking about substitutes and complements. Can anyone think of some substitute? Can anyone give me one example for a substitute? Substitute. Tea, coffee, leave it. Other than that, can you think of any one substitute? Instead of this, that can be used.
Rice and wheat.
Rice and wheat. Okay, so that is a substitute. That can be either we can have rice or we can have wheat. So there are some goods which we call them as substitutes. Now what do you mean by that? Relation between the quantity of a good that a consumer chooses and the price of a related good. Now you know that whenever there is an increase, as you said, rice and wheat, there is a chance that whenever there is an increase in the price of wheat, people may reduce the consumption and start consuming rice more. When I say rice more, it doesn't mean that the people were having only, see, this will work only the people with only those people who are consuming both. Though some people are there who are consuming only rice. This will not work. So there should be a substitute, like either one can be used in for the other one. So here what happens, whenever the price of wheat is increasing, people start buying more rice for time being. Or whenever the prices wheat is reducing, there is a chance that the people may start buying more of wheat instead of rice. That is what this kind of relation you can see in the case of substitute. So whenever there is a tea, coffee, I told, whenever there is a change in the price of one commodity, it will affect the demand of other commodity. For example, you said wheat, rice, or tea, coffee. Okay, any increase in the price of wheat or tea, it will result in what will happen? This price increased. So what will happen in the quantity demanded of this? This will increase. So price increases for one product, it is resulting in the quantity demanded of other products. Okay, those kind of products we call it as substitutes here. Okay, next one, complementary. What do you mean by complementary? Can anyone say? What is complementary? What do you mean by complementary? Anyone? Complementary goods. There are some goods which I told you substitutes. There are some other goods which we call them as complementary. What is that?
They are in relation to each other.
There is a relation with each other, but what kind of relation it will be? Complementary. What kind of relation is that complementary? Can you think of complementary? Complementary means, okay, complementary in the sense two goods are there that should be used at the same time. Without that you will not get a result. Okay, here in your textbook they have given one example, that is complementary goods like tea and sugar. Okay, tea and sugar, that is one. These are complementary goods because tea we will not prepare without sugar. Those who are having diabetics, they may prepare. Other than that, normally we will prepare tea with sugar. Okay, or it's exception. Some exceptions are there, you leave that. Shoes and socks. Always when we wear shoes, there is a need of socks. Always when we use pen, there should be ink or refill or whatever it is, it should be there. Without that, this will not work. Okay, so here what they are telling, tea and sugar we are using together. So even though if the price of tea is increasing, okay, the demand for the sugar, what will happen? The price of tea is increasing. It will
go down.
It will go down. Price of tea increasing, what will happen to the tea now?
It will be less demanded.
It will be less, less demanded. So when tea is not there, people will they use sugar? No. Okay, so demand for sugar is also reduced here. Got what I said? Once more, listen. Pen and ink. Okay, pen and ink, we know this will not work in the matter of necessary item, that you leave it. Otherwise, think like these kind of things. Pen and ink. Pen price is reduced a lot. So what will happen? when the price is reduced or there is a sale, what will happen when there is a reduction in the pen? Yes, Vishnu, what will happen? Let me see now you people are sitting there or not. What will happen when there is a reduction in the price or when there is a sale for pen? You are getting at a cheaper rate. So, what will happen? Vishnu went or what? Nestle, can you tell? Nestle,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, can you tell there is a sale for pen? So, what will happen?
Ma'am, what?
There is a sale of pens. Pen, you know, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there is a sale, the price is very low. So, what will happen to the quantity demanded?
It will increase.
It will increase. So, do you think that only pen, only the outer cover we will be buying, or with that refill or ink we will be buying?
With we will buy with
We
ink.
will buy with the ink or pen or whatever it is. Okay, so here why we are when one commodity's price is reduced, it is affecting the demand for other commodity. Okay, that kind of products we call it as complementary goods. Here also the same thing they have given here. Since tea, they are talking now in terms of tea here. Since tea and sugar is used together, an increase in the price of sugar, there is a chance sugar price is increased. So now they reduce the consumption of tea. Okay, so that can happen in the matter of a complementary goods here. The same way, a decrease in the price of sugar, people, there is a chance that they may increase more tea now, because these are complements, it cannot be used alone. So what happens here, the demand for a good moves in the opposite direction of the price of its complementary good. Whenever the price is increasing or decreasing for the pen, here I told it is decreased, but at the same time the ink what we are using in that, it is increasing. So it is moving in an opposite direction for what kind of goods here? For the complementary goods here. Okay, now another one thing, contrast they are talking. In contrast to complements, these two are what? Tea and coffee are what? It's a complementary or a substitute?
Substitute.
Substitute. So they are substitutes for each other. What happens? Price of tea increases, that means they will substitute now coffee, or if if the price of coffee increases, they start consuming tea here. Okay, so it is like that. Price of one is increasing, the other one will go down. What did I tell you related to the complementary goods? How it is? Demand for a good moves in direction of the price of its substitute. Demand for a good usually moves in the direction of a price of its substitute. What do you mean by that? Whenever the price of its substitute increases, demand for a good, what will happen?
Increases.
Increase or reduces?
Increases.
Okay. So these are the important things related to normal good, inferior good, substitutes, complementary. Till here only I want to take now. Beyond this, I will be taking next class. Once more, we'll just do the recap on this topic. Now I will be asking questions to everyone, and I want you people to respond to me. Okay, it's not that you will be keeping quiet. Okay, so here, what do you mean by normal good? I will be asking. Vishnu, now don't leave and go. Okay, Vishnu, what do you mean by normal good? What is the relation between income and quantity demanded in the case of a normal good? Vishnu, he went. That's what. As soon as I ask question, you leave the meeting and go. Right? Naveen,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the relation between income and quantity demanded in the case of a normal good? Normal good. What will happen? Just explain what it is. Yes. He is also left or what?
No, ma'am.
Or you are there. You think normal good. In the matter of normal good, what did I say? Hmm? So I will make one person to repeat. You have to repeat that then. Yes? Okay. Abhilash, can you tell?
Yes, ma'am. In the case of normal goods, when income increases, the demand will also increase.
You heard what he said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just repeat what he told. In the
When the demand increases,
uh,
the income also.
demand increases, income increases.
Ma'am, can you repeat it one more time?
Okay, Abhilash, once more.
Okay, so when income increases, the demand quantity demanded will also increase.
Increase. Okay. Okay. Heard now?
Yes, yeah,
See,
it's
it will be always in terms of income. See, without income, we can't demand. Okay. So, income increases. Yes. Tell. Tell.
ma'am, 1 minute.
What happened? Yes.
When demand increases,
When
the
the demand, don't tell demand increases. When the demand increases, no.
when the demand increases,
See, you have to start in terms of income. What is that? Income increases, you say.
when income increases, demand of
See,
quantity
listen,
also increases.
you just think when income in our hands, okay. For example, don't simple blindly say, I was having 1,000 rupees income. Okay. Now that is increased to 2,000. Okay. Quantity I was demanding before, that was 500. Okay. Now that will be increasing to any number you can tell. Just I mean out of this 1,500 he is spending for consumption, quantity is demanding, remaining 500 he is saving. Now income is increased to 2,000. Will we increase or decrease the quantity demanded?
Increase.
Will increase. You just tell a number which is below 2,000.
900.
900. Okay, so now the consumption is increased. Now you see that it is always, see, I demand more, because of that my income will increase, or what?
No.
No, whenever my income increases, so whenever my income increases, then only I can demand more. Otherwise, no. Okay, so in the matter of normal goods, how is it? Whenever there is an increase in income, the quantity demanded will be increasing. Now you see, 1,000 rupees it was, now that is reduced to 800 rupees. Now my income reduced. Now there is a chance that consumption reduce. Maybe how much? To 400. So here it shows what? As income reduces, my quantity demanded also reduces. This will happen in the normal goods. Okay. Next, what do you mean by inferior goods? Ellen, can you tell? What do you mean by inferior goods?
Ma'am, when income decreases, the demand also decreases.
When income decreases, demand also decreases. Okay, correct. When income increases, demand for that increases. Is it like that?
No, ma'am.
Then how is it?
And when income decreases, the demand also decreases.
Income decreases, demand also decreases. That's the same thing before for normal goods, right? I told you one rice and jar example.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you mean by that? As the income increases, you see here, as the income increases, the demand for an inferior good falls. That is, jowar is an inferior good. So here income is increasing for me. I stopped buying jowar and started buying rice. So when my income increases, what should be the normal one? The other one should increase, but here in the case of inferior good it is falling. Okay, so jowar, inferior good, it moves in an opposite direction. Normal good, it moves together. Okay, just keep this in your mind. So next
Yes.
class, just be thorough with these points. I hope you might have noted down. It is there in your textbook also. I will be asking to everyone this topic. Okay. Okay, then just let me take the attendance. 1 minute. Abdul Aman, absent. Alan Thomas, absent. Alan Burgess, present. Anish, present. Aparna, Krishnakanti, Vishnu, sorry, Krishna Nunni absent, right? Naveen,
Present, ma'am.
Nestle,
Present, ma'am.
Akshay,
Present, ma'am.
Pavitra, absent. Pranav,
Present, ma'am.
Rahul,
Present, ma'am.
Sayujya, absent. Vinay, Vishnu, Roseanne,
Present, ma'am.
Abhiram, Abhijit, Abhilash,
Present, ma'am.
Amal,
Present, ma'am.
Basuri, Kevin,
Present, ma'am.
Omar, Sanam, Sandra. Okay then, bye everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.